Okay, hello everybody. We're going to be giving you guys a few minutes to come in here. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures, and we've got some interesting shots tonight of something to watch. There's not a lot going on. There's no big breaking news events or anything we've been watching. So I've got up just some interesting things for us to watch tonight. We'll see how that goes. There's not even really any earthquake activity. The volcanoes are kind of quiet. So we're just kind of hanging out here. We're going to see what's going on. Yeah, here's your tags. There's what's going on the screens. We've got a wildfire burning in Greece. This one's big, just like the one in California there. The big fire in the center of California there. Let's just leave it at that. And these fires are just burning crazy. Now, what you're seeing in the middle screen is the Epiphany Polar Plunge 2025. This is happening in Eastern Europe. This is way up in the northern regions. That's why this is supposed to be live. It's being broadcast on 2 or 3 different cameras, and it is a live event. And I looked it up, and I believe the reason it's still light there is because it's so far north. This time of year, places really far north never really get dark. And so I do believe it's just what time it is there. I almost think something might slip out here if you watch long enough. But anyway, yeah, this is the Epiphany Polar Plunge 2025. And I know it's something different, but I'm looking for something different because sometimes we don't need to always have blood and guts on every screen. I thought, well, let's take a look at this. These people are nuts. That water is below freezing. You know, we get in the pool when it's 78 degrees and we're like, wow, that water's cold. I don't know what doing, you know. And these people are literally in a bathing suit, in bare feet, in the snow, and they make the whatever that they're going to go jump in the cold water, and here they go. This is live, supposedly. Like I said, I found it on a bunch of different streams. There's actually several different streams going out, and I saw the same people on the 2 different streams. So I'm relatively sure this is live right now. It's up in the polar regions of Eastern Europe. And yeah, wow. These chicks are braver than me. There's some guys doing it too, but the women seem to be brave. A lot braver than the guys. Of course, guys got something to lose, if you know what I mean. Anyway, oh boy. And over on the right there, we've got our protests again tonight. And this is there at the Federal Building in LA. As always, we're watching what's going on there. Let me get you guys pulled up so I can see who is in the chat room. We already got some folks coming in. Rippin', what's up? How you doing tonight? Thanks for being here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, not me. No. Cali Prepper, hey, thanks for being here. Ding, 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 thanks for being here. I do appreciate you guys all coming in. It's a slow night. We're going to go through the tropics. We're going to go through all the news. We're going to do all the usual stuff. And then I'm going to sign off and go to bed. So that's kind of the plan. I'm very... you guys are probably sick of hearing me always saying, I'm very tired tonight. I am. I'm getting old, and these nights are rough for me. But you can't do one of these shows in the morning. There's nothing happening in the morning. So... I'm going to bear with it. If you guys, I'm going to bear with the schedule if you guys bear with me bitching about the schedule. You guys let me know, like last night, someone let me know that pursuit was going on, and within 1 minute I had it up. Within 3 minutes we had the scanner feed going. A lot of people like that. So do I. I would love to get more of that. So, if at any point you guys see anything that's live, that's going on live right now, obviously grab it. Let me know. This is this live? All right, I'm gonna replace out that grease fire because there's not. Oh, that was funny. That was pretty funny. It's a grease fire. That's pretty cool. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna phase out that because there's not really much to see here. Like the government always says, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Oh, what are we gonna show? Ads. I usually get away without the ads, but not. It's funny when it's a TV station. I don't get away without the ads. It's like forget about it. Forget about it. Do you believe these chicks going in that water that cold? I'm surprised nipples don't split through the front of shit. Oh, now it's a car ad. That's awesome. Yeah, that's probably not gonna be fruitful. Oh my god, I finally come across the bears getting salmon out of the river. That's probably what we'll end up watching before the night's over. I'm in the hot pursuit. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so there's nothing really going on there tonight. It was a little quieter day in the news, so that's why we've got some different things going on up here. Let's get that grease out of there. I'm watching this news up in the upper left corner here for just a minute, but then I'm going to switch that out. The upper middle is the Epiphany Polar Plunge 2025. Yep, you heard it here first, folks. These people are going in water that is below freezing, and they have to go out there and dip their head under, and then they come back in, and I guess that makes them better or something. I don't know. All it would do for me is give me pneumonia. Um, hey, C, how you doing? Yeah, this is like, I don't know. Yeah, there's just, Christ. Well, you know, we're starting to see the heat waves starting to kind of level out now. We're not seeing all the big heat waves all over the country and shit. And now we'll start seeing hurricanes and this and that. The weather has a way of maneuvering itself around and giving us all different things. I cannot believe that there is just nothing. Well, I guess I'll talk about this real quick. I just watched the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I won't give any spoilers. It's a good Star Trek episode. The guy that plays Captain Kirk is back. The Farragut is back. And it's kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I've been very critical of them. They've literally made 4 or 5 absolute shit garbage episodes, but they're doing pretty good. They're making 3 out of 4 ain't bad. I think wasn't there a song on? Anyway, 3 out of 4 episodes are really good, and then 1 out of 4 episodes is complete shit. I don't know. I don't know how they can get it so right and then get it so wrong. I don't get it. Yep, I'll give you guys. I'm gonna show you guys pictures of the car. I'm hoping to have all the equipment at least mounted on it by this weekend, and um, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm also working on whoever had this car last did not have all the right bulbs in it. There's literally like mismatched bulbs, and the headlight bulbs don't fit right and shit and everything. So there's a little bit of that kind of stuff. But the good news is the price of LED replacement bulbs has gone way down. And so what I'm doing is I'm replacing the high beam headlights and the driving lights with their LED replacement counterparts. And then of course I'm also putting these on the front, and they're white or yellow or warning lights, whichever you choose. And I'm putting those on the front, and I got the big fuses and everything to go in there so that I don't burn the car up. But anyway, yeah, I've got it all set up. I'm looking at probably installing it Saturday or Sunday or both. I have to work around the heat. Hey Victor, what's up, buddy? Junior, how you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be LEDing it out. All the lights around it will be LED, and it should look really nice when I get done with it. I'm going to buy magnetic signs to go on the back doors. That'll just be very plain magnetic signs that have the YouTube logo and the word media in red letters, and then under it'll be stretched out red letters. And then underneath that in smaller letters, it will say something like Storm Intercept Vehicle, or I don't know, something like that. It'll say something that looks kind of official. And then that way I'm going to put those on for the pictures I'm going to take and everything. But I'm also going to use those for like when I go put my cameras up before hurricanes, and I go to get them back down after the hurricane and all that kind of stuff. So all right, glad everybody's here tonight. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, I guess. The thing in the middle and the top, it's not gratuitous. I'm not just doing it because there's bums, although I've seen a number of nice bums. But I thought it'd be something different. It popped up on my screen, and I'm like, the Epiphany Polar Plunge. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, all right, so we're going to watch this. Yeah, we'll watch this, whatever. We'll see what the hell, right? All right, and I am, like I said, I'm looking for live streams. If anybody finds anything they think would be better, throw it on the Discord under General. Yep. Yeah, you know, if anybody has any questions about the GMRS license or the ham license, I'll give you very frank answers, because a lot of it's just stupid, and but I'll give you some very direct answers on it. I've got a lot of videos on here on it, and I don't know. I really believe that if you're interested at all in radio, you should go get a radio license. The GMRS licenses are so easy to get, and then the ham license is a little more difficult to get. But once you get it, and everybody that memorizes the stupid questions and the answers gets it, then once you get your license, then hey, you're all set. You can now talk on all these frequencies, and you can talk around the world on HF, and there you go. Yep, we just got, we're in our tax-free hurricane supplies phase down here in Florida, and we are on our tax-free back-to-school phase down here in Florida. And right now, you can go into a store, and you can buy anything you need. There's a list of things that you use for hurricanes, like generators and gas cans and stuff like that. or anything that your child needs for back to school, even up to like, they'll do tax free up to so many hundreds of dollars on a computer. They'll let you go tax free on clothing for school and shoes, and it's kind of an incentive down here. And it helps people get out there and buy new school clothes for their kids and that kind of stuff. Yeah, navigating the FCC website, there is, I think, a college degree for that now. I'm not sure. I sure wish the guy that built their website had a college degree. It probably would have helped. Yeah, it's a terrible website. I think it's purposely complex. Remember, government sets things up so that you'll give up. Because if you give up, then they don't have to deal with you. And that's the bottom line. There's our storm out there. We're going to be talking about that here in just a few minutes. But there is Ern, and Ern is out there right now with a wind speed of 70 miles an hour. And we are going to get the next advisory coming up in an hour and 45 minutes. And there is a chance this will be named a hurricane in the next advisory. Although not forecast, it's already above forecast. So it may do that. And you can see here, it's down below 1,000 millibars now, down to 999 millibars. Movement is west, and it is currently, this is all advisory 14 alpha. Anyway, this is as of 8 p.m. There will be an 11 p.m. advisory that will be out here, and then at 2 p.m. They're expecting by this time tomorrow, let's see, by 2 p.m. tomorrow, it will be a hurricane. And then as it gets out here, they're forecasting it to be a 125 mile an hour Category 3 major hurricane with wind gusts to 155. Now, that's the bad news. The good news, I don't believe this is ever going to strike the United States. This is going to end up going up, and it's going to go to the left of Bermuda, and it's going to spin out. It may interact with Canada up there, way up in the northern, as it goes extratropical. But right now, it looks like this is really not going to be that much of a big deal for us. And when I say us, I mean all of us here in the United States. And that is definitely some good news, because this could have been pretty bad. Luckily, we've got that high that's built in. What happened was this high, the high that normally sits out in the middle of the Atlantic, it normally sits out like in this area right here. And that's what blocks everything off and makes things go into the Gulf of Mexico like that. And that is not here. The high, instead of being here, has pulled off, and it's sitting more like up here now. And with that, it's allowing these storms to curve up. And they're getting that curve because everything goes, as you know, clockwise around high pressure. And so that's what's giving us this, basically this fetch to the north here, and that's what's kind of protecting us right now. This is kind of our iron dome against hurricanes. When we get this this high pressure that builds in, and then when this high pressure recedes off to the right, it starts allowing the storms to come up, and that really is nice because it keeps them away from the United States. Now, is this going to last forever? No, it will eventually move back into place, and we will eventually see one come across that will end up not going up, and it will end up coming into the Gulf of Mexico. And of course, that's the one we have to watch. Is it on the 10 or 12 day? I don't see it right now. I'm going to run the models for you guys in a few minutes, and we'll see what we can come up with. But for right now, this one is not a threat to the United States, and the one behind it is not. The models are not seeing Genesis right now, so really not a bad deal right now. It doesn't look so bad out in the tropics right this minute. So I guess that's the good news. As far as up in the continental United States, what do we got going on for weather tonight? Well, we've got one area up here. I've got it set on tornadoes. This area right here is a 1 out of 5 for tornadoes tonight. As the numbers indicate, that's a pretty low warning. But they've had a lot of flooding up here in this area, and they're having some issues. So let's go to the single site, and we'll go to the Grand Forks radar. And all that we have going on is this one supercell up here, this one lone supercell. But it is severe thunderstorm warned, and it almost looks like it wants to hook up. Let's put it on split screen here, and let's watch it on both radars at the same time as it comes in. Yeah, it wants to create a vortices. You can see it. Can't quite do it though. I think it's too isolated. But it's trying. You can see that it wants to hook, and it wants to get it going, but it just can't quite do it. All right, so we've got that, and we've got some shit going on up in Canada. But other than that, it's really pretty quiet out here. There was a lot of power outages here in Park County. When I say a lot, I mean, 271. I guess that's a lot if you're in a county that doesn't have a lot of people. Let's see here. That's about it. There's just not a lot going on. There's no storm chasers out tonight. And that's pretty much the weather as it is. All right, let me go back and look up and check and see if I can find some videos real quick. They got a big deal going in Serbia tonight. And so that's a lot of what keeps coming up. Oh, is that? Oh, really? Oh, here we go, guys. This is in Alaska. Protests ahead of Trump visiting there with Putin. Oh, yeah, there we go. These are pro-Ukrainian protesters. Here we go. Protest Alaska. Watch out, lady. You almost lost them. You'd have had to go find them things. Oh, that's nice. SpaceX, another 24 satellites. That's good. All right. Well, yeah, I talk prepper stuff on here. It's not my specialty, but I'm into it, and I do get into it and talk about it on here. And I'm also a ham radio operator, GMRS operator, and I'm into emergency comms. So I love all that stuff. So I'll be glad to talk about any of that. These people are nuts. She says, oh my God, my nipples are literally ripping through my bathing suit right now. They're like cutting through it like razor blades. Where's this at? Syria? Oh, that's Serbia. Serbia. Anti-ICE protest, Little Tokyo City Hall Federal Detention Center. Alright, I want to switch that one out. Why is this not working?
Raising the next generation is one of the
Shut
biggest jobs.
up. Shut up. Shut up, damn you. That's my best Charleston Heston. Shut up, damn you. God damn apes. That's the same one I already got. That other one was repeating. All right. All right, this is purported. I'm going to put this over in the side, a little small one over here. This is supposed to be DC live protest. I can't really tell. It is dark there, which is what it should be. So let's see. We'll let that sit for a minute. That's on the right above me, right over, right that one right there, and we'll see what happens. I think our Epiphany polar plunge is repeating because I swear I've seen that girl go in before. I mean, how many times is she gonna go? Maybe I'm seeing things, but I'm starting to wonder here. Yeah, we've already seen this. I'm gonna find something else to go in that hole. I'll do a news rundown here in just a few minutes. Oh, but that can't be live. It's dark in DC. Don't lie to me. Oh, look, this is live in DC. No, it's not. You're lying to me. Bastards. Bastards all. Bastards all. Okay, so here we go. Let's put this up here. I gotta get this out of here. Quiet on Bourbon Street tonight. I'll put that up for a few minutes. Yeah, this DC crime thing is something else. You know, I was there about 4 years ago, and when we went to Union Station, there was like 80 homeless people sleeping in that circle right there in front of in front of Union Station, and I was just, I don't know, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's the capital of our nation, and it's just turned into a crap hole. Yeah, that guy's just out and about again. I've already got him on once. All right, well, I don't see anything else there. I'm continuously looking for things to put up for you guys, but it's a slow night. I am going to take an early night, I think. Um, Comms prepper. Sometimes I say shit like that and I don't even hear myself. You know what I mean? I normally don't have a hard time finding things to go in holes, but I usually come up with something. Uh, whether you love Gavin Newsom or you hate Gavin Newsom, you have to like his hair. I mean, his hair is amazing. If he run for president, his hair could run for vice president. I mean, come on, it's epic. Seriously, like him or hate him, it's epic. It's epic. And you can't be the governor of California without perfect hair. I think it's written somewhere. It's probably a statute in the California revised statutes, I'm sure. Um, yeah, well, hell. Do. Let's see here. All right, let's see. Let me go over here and let's do a news rundown. ChatGPT has turned to shit just in the last week. I don't know what happened. It no longer can remember my preferences. It's taken a lot longer. I don't know. I think it's going to want to raise. Watch. It's going to want to raise. It's going to want better working conditions. It's going to want cooler air in the server room. All right. So yeah, well, let's start with futures. The S&P 500, Nasdaq, and the Dow all steady today following record-setting sessions over the last few days. Investors are closely watching today's wholesale inflation data. That's called the Producer Price Index. And Bitcoin trades below its recent peak, while oil edges up and gold dips a little bit, signaling cautious sentiment. You know, everybody likes when gold goes up, but when gold goes up, that means our dollar goes down. So you have to keep that in mind. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, I collect silver. I've got a bunch of silver. I understand. I get it. I want my silver prices to go up to $90. Okay? But if that happens, it's because my dollar got really weak. And that's why I can get so much of it for the smaller amount of silver. So anyway, that's all about that. Costco beat estimates, eyes an AI boom. They posted quarterly results that slightly exceeded their expectations. It's nice to see large corporations beginning to exceed their corporate expectations again. Over the last 2 or 3 years, we saw a lot of corporations literally in tailspins, failing, bankruptcy. We're starting to now see, like Cisco. Cisco is a very big company, and They're doing good now. They actually posted profits higher than what they were expecting. That means that the economy is cooking with gas again. It was stifled. Now it's starting to cook again. The company credits the AI infrastructure growth and an improving economy. Let's see here. Despite some traditional segments like security, okay, anyway, bullish. Let's see. What is this? All financial bullshit? Paramount and Skydance, their stock jumped. They just merged, as you guys know, and the stock is up 37%. Damn. Okay, and OpenAI launches ChatGPT 5, a new AI model branded its PhD level, debuts offering significantly improved reasoning capabilities. See what I was telling you guys about how this AI, it's growing exponentially. Like it gets twice as good as it was every 8, 9, 10 months. It's growing so fast. Here we are. They're launching GPT-5. This one has a PhD level language model, and it's gonna have amazing reasoning capabilities. It's a remarkable large step forward in advanced language modeling. Despite the name, experts caution it's still not a substitute for human intelligence. Yeah, of course. The 2025 World Games are underway. I couldn't care less. Sorry if you do. Go ahead. They're great. Whatever. I don't. The whole sports thing is just, it's all ignorant and fixed to me. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting plans to close operations after federal funding cuts. Staff layoffs will begin on September 30th, with a skeleton crew retaining essential duties until early 26, when the company will finally when the organization will completely wind down and disband. The shutdown marks the end of decades of public media funding. This is an amazing thing that's happened. For many, many years, there's been something going on that's been unfair. It's just been wrong. And what that is, believe it or not, the government gives free call signs to some stations while they make other stations pay top dollar for their call signs. Call signs cost, I don't know, $100,000 a year. That shit is expensive, okay? But our competition over across the way, PBS, the NPR station, National Public Radio, that's our direct competition. We're a talk radio station. They're a talk radio station. And there's a little third one way down in Marco Island. There's only 3 talk radio stations. So they're my second biggest competition. Okay, they're the big competition that I have, right? Now, they're not much of it, but still. They're the competition. The government gives them free call signs. The government gives them money to pay for staff. The government gives them money for equipment. And they get donations from viewers and listeners like you. And yet, they compete with us in the same book. We have to pay our own electric bill. We have to pay for our own equipment. We have to pay for our own license at $100,000 a year. We have to pay for everything, and we have to compete with National Public Radio, and TV has to compete with PBS. And those things, they don't pay anything. They get money from the government. So while we're paying our money to the government, they take that money and give it to our competition, and then we both appear in the same book. In New York, NPR kicks Fox News' ass in New York because of the demographic, right? How fair is it that the Fox affiliate in New York has to pay for everything themselves. It's a business, it's private. They have to pay for everything from the janitor that cleans the floors to the call letters, very expensive, the antennas, the towers, the site transmitter links, the employees, everybody, they have to pay for everything. Across the street, you've got the New York NPR station, which is one of the top rated radio stations in New York. And they're kicking Fox's ass, and they're doing it over there with donations from viewers like you, and they're over there doing it with free money from the government, and they're over there doing it with call signs that didn't cost them a GD effing thing, okay? That's why I get sour about this. And I love or hate Donald Trump. There's some things he does I like. There's something he does I doesn't like. This one I like because I'm telling you, this one here fixes something that's been unfair for 58 years. You know, they made the stupidest statement they could make the other day. They actually came out and said, hey, what are kids going to watch now? We won't be able to make Sesame Street anymore. And I was in shock by the ignorance of that statement. I wrote a response to that and posted it, and I said and I spoke about it on our air on our big show, and I spoke about it here. I'm going to tell you guys something. That is the most ignorant statement I've ever heard in my life. They have been making Sesame Street since before I was born, okay? The late 60s they started making Sesame Street. And they've been making Sesame Street for 57 or 58 years. They've made thousands of episodes of Sesame Street. Now, here's my question to you. Did the numbers change? Did the alphabet change? Isn't it still A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Isn't it? Why do we need new Sesame Street? Your kid could start binge watching Sesame Street when he's 3, and he'll still be watching it when he's getting out of college. We don't need more Sesame Street. We have plenty of Sesame Street. What we need is TV stations to all be on a fair playing field. What we need is radio stations to all be on a fair playing field where they all get the same shot at the same audience. If a certain group wants a radio station, they put it up and they make it happen. That's the way America works. And to always be given a free ride to one radio station while charging out the ass to the other radio station needed to end about 40 years ago, and I'm glad it finally ended now. What kind of problem are you having? I don't know what powering down my local computer would change. But yes, I do. I power it down completely down to nothing and back up again before every single one of these broadcasts, because it is Windows after all and it runs dirty. And so I start with a clean restart every time. Hey, Red, and who else? Do we got anybody else I haven't said hi to? That is weird that the names are weird in my chat rooms only now. I don't know why. I'm sure it will eventually fix itself, but I don't know of any setting that I would have on my end. If you guys find out anything, let me know. And we will, yeah, we'll do it. All right, let's see here. All right, so Apple has now committed $100 billion to U.S. manufacturing. So they're following this new surge of moving manufacturing from overseas back to this country. This is going to help the economy immensely going forward. And now that Apple's doing it, Apple's one of our larger companies that's doing it. So that's good. I'm very, very happy to hear that. The more companies that move their manufacturing back to this country, um, it just, you have no idea how much it helps our economy. It's going to fix this problem, and I'm telling you. And how we get there, I'm not sure, but it sure seems to be working. Um, okay, let's see here. We talked about that. That Wisconsin fair, they've went ahead and canceled the whole rest of that fair. It's still flooded up there. They never could reopen that fair. It was kind of a shame. And last night, if you guys remember, we had a situation last night. When we left last night, we didn't really know exactly what was going on, and we had gotten a lot of information about this standoff that was going on, and it was in Gretna, Virginia. And give me just a second here. Well, anyway, there was a lot of rumor going on. Remember, I kept telling you, I even listed the rumors and told you guys be careful because these are all rumors. Well, the good news is it was not near as bad as they made it seem last night. They could have come out earlier and said something, but we all know how they are. Anyway, this was a shooting incident that occurred in the 600 block of Blue Jay Lane. This is a residential area in rural Pittsylvania County, Virginia, which is down on the south side of Virginia in the middle of the state, right near the North Carolina border. Three Pittsylvania County Sheriff's deputies were injured during the incident. Two sustained injuries from shrapnel, while a third was taken to the hospital out of caution, but was later released. The deputies were serving a warrant. Remember, we said that last night. They were serving a warrant related to brandishing a firearm, trespassing, and a protective order when they encountered gunfire. I don't know what it is lately, but everybody's going to go out in a blaze of glory. And then they always give up before they get shot themselves. The suspect was identified as James Andrew Lenhard. He was arrested at the scene and charged with felony attempted aggravated murder of a law enforcement officer. Following the shooting and standoff ensued that lasted for several hours. The situation ended peacefully when he finally did surrender to authorities. The Virginia State Police were called to investigate the incident and remained on site for evidence collection. U.S. Representative, who cares? See how I write over all the political bullshit. As for the latest reports, there's no publicly available information regarding any past criminal history on the douchebag. They're not releasing further details. He's expected to be arraigned on, today he was expected to be arraigned. Man, I'm thirsty tonight. Ugh. Well, let's take another look and see if I can find anything. Yeah, it's cool, Red. I get it. You know, I'm here every night. I totally get it. There's going to be a night here and there when I'm going to take off too. And just so you guys know, if at 9 o'clock rolls around and you don't see me, I'm going to try to put a post up in my community post and also on Discord General that I won't be coming on. There was one night, a couple nights ago, I was feeling pretty bad and I almost didn't come on, and then I did. So, but it's one of those things. I'm getting old and I work a lot, and so if I have to take an evening off, I will. Um, Heath, we don't know, brother. We don't know why it's doing this. It started about 3 nights ago. They've been screwing around with the chat rooms with this whole um, top fan thing they've got going on. And I don't know. I don't know if they've broke something in there. I do know that it started 3 or 4 nights ago. People popping up, and because I'm looking up and I'm looking at these are all my mods, and I'm like, I don't recognize the names of these mods. I don't know whose mods these are, but I don't think they're mine. Mellow Yellow's okay. Truth is, I switched from Mountain Dew to what is it, Mountain Mist, whatever the Walmart one was. I did the Czech one for a while. Mountain Dew's like 3 something a 2 liter right now. I mean, they want way too much money for that shit. I buy this stuff for $1 a bottle. I need to get off of it, but water tastes like shit to me. I just can't drink water. There's a reason why we use that in a toilet, because it's not worth it for anything else. No, Mellow Yellow's okay. I'm really not much of a lemon lime guy. I'll be honest. I drink Mountain Dew because it's one of the few drinks I'll drink after it's sat all night. I'll drink after it's warm. I'll drink, you know what I'm saying? I'll drink if it's flat. I'll just drink it. I don't care. It's one of the few. Sierra Mist isn't bad. Sprite and 7-Up are okay, but they're very weak. Never had it, never will. Yeah, I believe that. All right, well, we did fire coverage 2 or 3 nights ago, and that fire was really kicking up. Not a lot going there right now. They're actually starting on that big fire. They're actually starting to relax some of the evacuation orders, so that's always good. That Alaska protest is getting pretty big. So what are they protesting? It looks like it's pro Ukrainian, which is cool. See, and again, I'm not going to get political, but I'm all for helping the Ukrainians out. They've been invaded. But there has to be a limit, a line, a goal, a check, a balance. It can't just go on forever. Same thing with everybody. I mean, we need to help out, but there needs to be a limit, a line in the sand, a goal, something, a goalpost that we're running for. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm all for helping. I saw that Soda Stream, and I'm going to be honest, the reason I didn't buy it, I'm going to tell you, this is exactly why I didn't buy that Soda Stream. Because it didn't take off. It didn't become a phenomenon. I figured if it was any good at all, everybody would have one. And it just kind of fizzled out, pun intended. I like iced tea. I tend to oversweeten it. That's why I kind of stay with soda. When I make iced tea, I love it. I drink it. It's great. I love iced tea. It's my favorite drink, sweet tea. But I tend to oversweeten it. Yeah, when I go to the mountains up there in North Georgia and the mountains right on the North Carolina line, we get water right out of the ground, the well. There's not a filter, there's not a softener, there's not a aerator. It comes right out of the ground, right into the sink, and I make my tea with it. And it comes out of the mountain at about 38 degrees. And I put that in a pot and warm it up with some tea bags. And then I melt the sugar and all that, and then I fill it the rest of the way up with that cold water. Oh my God, let me tell you something. That water up there makes the best tea. Where you make the tea makes the difference. If you use bottled water, the tea will taste very different than if you use your tap water. See, I got used to tea with tap water. And tea was good with tap water for years. And but then other people would drink my tea and they're like, I don't like this. It tastes like tap water. I'm like, it is tap water. I'm used to it. Why would I do something else? Anyway. I'm just glad that looked last night like it was going to be a lot worse than it actually turned out to be.
First, we offer overnight boarding.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Copy link. Here we go with the bullshit. Boy, Bourbon Street's dead tonight. This is all just the same bullshit over and over and over. Really is aggravating. Yep, and that looks like the same thing twice now. I'm really surprised there's like that protest looks like there's 400 or 500 people there. I don't know. It's quite a lot actually. There's so many spoofs up here, I can't even wade through them all. No, I haven't seen that information on Atlas. I'll check that out. No, I don't know much about the Star Trek games. It's part of the genre I never really got into. The last game I played and enjoyed was Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. And that was, I think, 25 years ago, 23 years ago. That was a good game. Played Starfleet Academy before that, and I think Starfleet Borg. There was 3 or 4 games I played years ago, but they were very rudimentary compared to what we have today. These newer games, I tried a few of them, and they were just weird. I never could get anywhere, and I really don't like to play games a lot. I don't have time for games. I played 3 or 4 hours of Command and Conquer General Zero Hour about once a week, 3 or 4 hours a week, and that's it. Boy, everybody and their mother's got a high stream going from Alaska. This and that, Alaska, this, but it's all bullshit. There's nothing live. Oh my God. What is with these little roving boxes? Has anybody figured this out? I'm at a complete loss. Someone can help me with this. There's these little.
It takes courage to navigate.
Shut up. There's these. It's like these little coolers running around, and there's 3 or 4 of them because they're different colors, and I don't know what they are. I don't get it. But here, I'm gonna put it on there in the middle for you, upper middle. There's 3 of them. There's a blue one, there's a yellow one, there's a red one. They got little blinking lights on them. They got a little flag and antenna. And what is that? Does it respond with beer? Is it a beer response unit? Beer 1, respond code 3. There, the other side of the screen has the blue one. See, these are delivery things for like, you've got to be shitting me. Let me take that Alaska protest thing off of there because that's not correct. You got to be shitting me. These are they're delivering things to people's houses, dude. Oh, that's the coolest thing ever now. It's a robot, automated delivery. Thank you, MJ Nelson. I appreciate it. I didn't realize, I had no idea that they were actually doing this places. We were watching this the other night, and I figured it was some guy with a remote control cooler. You know, the rednecks down here would like that sort of thing. My cooler is designed so no matter how drunk and lost I get, my beer can find me. I mean, Walmart would sell those. They would sell out of that shit. You could wear a little thing, and when you hit the button, it will bring the beer to you. Oh, that's pretty freaking cool, man. Pizzas. I guess you could deliver anything in the damn thing. It must only work in very, very urban areas, I would assume. Yeah, it's in my neighborhood. It would need 4-wheel drive and shit. Look this freaking thing, dude. Now nobody's driving it. It's all AI and shit. Oh, for Christ's sake, it don't drive worth a shit. So these guys go around and harass these things. I love it. There's a white one now. The other guy's chasing a white one. It's an AI-powered beer response unit. Wonder if you can get your dispensary items that way, too. That one would be green. It can't even stay on the bike path. Oh. It's a city thing. It must be. We've got a city here, but it's only like 10 blocks by 10 blocks. And then outside of that, it's not. It's like neighborhoods and stuff. And then we still got some rural down here too. Why is this thing not able to stay on the road? I mean, how do you, they need to check this thing and make sure it's not drunk. I can't believe people don't like steal these things and shit or something. I mean, people are assholes. They said, is it an ice protest? And they said, no, it's an ice cold beer protest. It almost just hit that meter. How did we get the drunk one? Yeah, I'd like to report your delivery cart, the red one. Yeah, it's drunk. It's like running into parkometers and shit and running off the road. Who has the right of way, me or the guy's pizza? Oh my God. No, I wouldn't. I'm a libertarian at heart. And even though what they're doing is not good, they're getting away with it under the terms of service, and therefore I would not press the button. That's just me. I'm a libertarian. I say live and let live as much as possible. Hey, I knew eventually you would come in. Just kidding. Thanks for coming in, Trump, whoever you are. Appreciate that. And yeah. I don't talk a lot of politics in here, but you're welcome to, because we have a free speech chat room. All right, so I went through the news, went through down there, through there. I just wanted to mention a few other things over here. Let's go ahead and do the in-depth tropical look at the tropics here. And then we're going to go through all the models and all the normal bullshit. And so let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and do the screen capture, which puts my screen in the smaller part there so you guys can still watch. I want you to be able to watch the little red cart and make sure it makes it back to the supermarket okay. And all the protesting and stuff. So this way you can still see everything anyway. All right, so here's what we have. We have two areas of concern that we're looking at. And the one area, of course, is Ern. And we're going to talk about Ern more in depth in a few minutes. But before we get to that, let's talk about this system, which is not named yet. And this system, which is over here in the north part of the Bay of Campeche, is actually, if it forms, it's going to come on shore like this. Okay? And you can see from what I just drew there, it doesn't have very long to go. Within 24 hours, the center of circulation will be over the state of Texas. At that point, it can't form anything anymore. And so that there's not a whole lot to worry about with that one. But we could have a, I'm sorry, the yawning's terrible. We could have a low-level tropical storm as it comes into Brownsville, Texas. And so that's why they've got this here, just in case. That's all it is. But they've brought it up to 40 or 50% now. So that's that is something. Now, let's go back over. And we're going to talk about our main system here, which is this one right here. There we go. That's what it looks like. And as of the 8 p.m. advisory, which is the intermediate advisory 14 Alpha from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, it now shows winds at 70 miles an hour. 75 is a hurricane, so we're almost there. I think that they're saying it'll definitely be a hurricane by tomorrow, 2 p.m. It may be a little sooner than that. It may be in the morning. Movement west at 17. The forward motion is slowing down. That will allow it to strengthen more. And we now have tropical storm watches up for some of the northern parts of the island chain there, east of Puerto Rico. So that's where we're at with this. I'm going to go ahead. Let's just go right. I'm not going to switch back and forth. We're just going to go right into this. What's our timing look like? Well, it's going to be making its closest pass to the United States probably when we're on the air Monday night. It's going to be coming pretty close. Not expected to hit the United States. Expected to stay out at sea. We are going to see the east coast of Florida all the way up past New York. We're going to see swells. We're going to see surf, riptide, all that kind of stuff. And maybe even some beach erosion, but hopefully not a lot of surge. I don't think we're going to see much surge with this because it will be continuing to be offshore, and that's the good part of that. All right, so what are the models looking like? Well, let's go to Tropical Tidbits. And the first thing I want to do is let's take a look at this sumbitch. Look at this thing. It's symmetrical. It's breathing. Do you guys see all this serrated edge along the outside here? That is the exhaust. Notice all along there you've got that serrated edge. You see that? That is showing that the storm is breathing. That's the outflow. And look at this. All the way around the storm, we are seeing an amazing outflow. This is a strengthening storm system right now. And as I said, the forward motion slowing down. You can see the pink color. That's your cold cloud tops. And this thing is very deep. And I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up in the morning with a hurricane. This thing is going to at least be a Cat 3 when it gets up to its top strength. All right, let's take a look at the modeling. All right, here's all the latest models to come out, and you can see here there is some of these models that's the GEFS, that's the American model. You've got some of the outliers on the left taking it right over the Outer Banks. So this is a little close for comfort. It's definitely going to be close for comfort. Too close for comfort. You got a situation here where even this model has a lot of them coming up this way, and then even a few like this. So Yeah, you've got a situation where we have to watch this because, we've seen this happen before. Remember Ian and Charlie and all the other damn storms. It's going to Tampa. It's going to Tampa. It's going to Tampa. Oop! It hit Fort Myers. 120 miles south is where it actually ended up hitting. And so you have to kind of watch that with these model runs. I want to go back and look at. This is the other ones. All right, let's get out of that. All right, and that's not what I wanted. I think this one takes me where I want to go. There we go. All right, these are the other ones here. This is that one I just showed you. This one is starting to. That's a little disconcerting. This is a good performing model, and we're starting to see a break off of a number of models right here. They're all starting to pull off to the left on this model run. You see that? All those models there are pulling off to the left. That is the beginning of a trend. Now, this is what we're going to watch over the next 5 days, is where's this tail going to wag? And we know it wags left and right, left and right. And I'm starting to see what looks like a pull away here, a little bit of a pull away there. And that's one of the things you do look for a little bit, is it to start wanting to you'll start to get some separation between some of your models. Here's another one. This one keeps it all pretty far offshore. This one's being pretty optimistic. Let's go ahead and run the models, because there's no better way to look at the models than to run the models. And this is Mike's weather page. As I always do, I strongly recommend Mike's weather page. Let him know I sent you. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't hit the button again. You have to let me know when I do that. I will go back real quick and show you guys what I was just showing on there, because I didn't realize I had not hit the button. God damn it, I'm getting to the point where I'm stupid or something. This is the storm we were just looking at, just so you can see what's going to happen. And you can see here that they're really thinking it's going to go right up like this and stay away from the United States completely. And it's looking like that. The only thing that's kind of got us wondering on that is this here. We're starting to see a few of the models pull off. This is what I was just showing. We're starting to see some of the models pull off. See this here? All these models down here, these have all pulled off to the left. And that could be a trend to the left. And if we start seeing that, this black line will start moving to the left. And that, of course, means we're going to get a close brush with the Outer Banks right there. That's the most vulnerable place with this storm right now, is the Outer Banks for sure. So anyway, there we go. All right, let's get back up to here and here. All right, and again, Mike's weather page at spaghettimodels.com. I put the link in there for you guys. Let's look at the intensification model. This is important because what this shows us is how strong they think it's going to end up being. And here's how this works. You got the hours across the bottom and the strength on the side. Okay, and each one of these lines is a different model run. Okay, and you can see here when we get out here to 3 days out, you can see here we've got a number of models. What, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 models that are all in the Cat 3 or 4 range, and you got one up here in the upper 4 range. So that gives you 10 half of the models, over half of the models, believe that it's going to be a major hurricane. Bottom line, they all believe that it's going to be a hurricane. None of them maintain tropical storm. And the little less than half of the models are here thinking it's going to be either a 1 or a 2. And even many of those end up getting up into that range too. As we get out 120, 136 hours, you can really start to see here where there's a lot of models that believe this is going to be a major hurricane out 4 or 5 days. And that's pretty aggressive for the models. That's pretty aggressive. You don't normally see the modeling get overly aggressive. That's pretty much what I have on that one. Here, this is the vapor. Look at the outflow on this thing. This thing it's a living, breathing organism at this point. It's symmetrical, and look at that. You can see the eye forming. This is going to be a hurricane in the morning, I'm telling you. This will be a hurricane in the morning. It is really trying to put together an eye. It's trying to spin one out. Look at the outflow. It's amazing. We are seeing rapid intensification, guys. It's happening right now as we speak. And luckily this one's not heading for anybody. Hurricane hunters have been out there. It's finally gotten close enough. Somebody was asking me about why don't we send hurricane hunters out. Well, they don't send them out unless it gets closer because they fly out of the United States. Now they can refuel down in the islands down there, but there's still a range. They're not going to go out for some little ass storm way out 2 weeks away. It's just not worth the risk. But this one has now become worth the risk. So there you go. All right, and that's about what we have here on this one. That's Mike right there, Mike's weather page. This other one over here, you can see the strength on it is not forecast to really be much. A couple of models take it just barely to tropical storm strength, and that's it. And all of them take it right into the Brownsville area. So there's not much mystery there. All right, and that's the tropics. Let me reset here a little bit. Welcome everybody that has joined us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Starship Adventures, and there you go. Hello everybody, live from Starship Studios in Fort Myers, Florida, Southwest Florida. We are broadcasting live tonight. And as always, we are on 6 nights a week, sometimes 7. I do take Saturday nights off sometimes. And yeah, we get the storms down here where the country's wang, and we're kind of hanging out down here. And yeah, I mean, just at any time, you know. That's really cool. They're called delivery cubes. I'm going to discuss those on our radio show tomorrow. Tomorrow's Freestyle Friday. That's going to be my Freestyle Friday topic tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun to talk about those. But anyway, this is the studio. From in here, we can broadcast 8 simultaneous feeds on YouTube in high definition. We have a 1 gigabyte up and 1 gigabyte down fiber optic connection here. And 8 independent computers, and we can do a lot of things all at once. All that stuff you see laying out right over there is all stuff that's getting installed in my car this weekend. And we are going to be, I'm setting that all up to take you guys with me on adventures. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got all kinds of lights and radios and antennas and brackets for phones and all kinds of horse shit. And I think you guys are going to like it. That's true. Winter hits you every year up there. Hurricanes only hit us every 10 years or whatever on average. So, you know, it's a little different, a little reprieve there, I guess you would call it. But anyway, so, yep, this is Starship Studios. Thank you for being here. The name of the show is The Sights and Sounds of Earth. And the way we do it is I put everything up on a grid so you can watch everything at once. We call it Brady Bunch mode. And it's kind of cool because I can just point to wherever everything's at, and you guys can see everything that's going on. Right over here, we've got DC protest live. We've got LA protest live, both here and above. And we're watching these cube. Apparently, there's people following these cube delivery vehicles around. And so we're watching the people that are watching the cube delivery vehicles, interestingly enough. And then on the far left, we've got the pro-Ukrainian protest that's in progress in Alaska, near where President Trump and President Putin are set to meet tomorrow in Alaska to talk about peace in Ukraine and in Russia. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and please hit the like and the subscribe and all that good stuff. It really helps the channel. And join us every night in here. That we come in, we hang out, we talk. And I'll tell you what we do. We talk about a lot of different stuff. We do paranormal stuff. We talk about sci-fi shows. I had mentioned earlier, I just today they dropped the latest Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode. And unlike a few of the duds they've had this season, today's episode was actually really good. Back to a space adventure again. I really liked it. And I'm so glad when they do the space adventures instead of the creative horse shit Hollywood stuff. Yes. That's the biggest thing that people don't understand. Why is everybody moving to Florida? Why are we picking up congressional seats? Why is everybody fleeing? It's simple. We have the lowest taxes in the country, folks. We have no income tax at all. Our sales tax, 6%. And it's a lot cheaper here. I just renewed my driver's license. It was $48. I renewed my tag. It was $46. Our taxes are not that high here. My property tax after homestead exemption on my home, a couple $100 a year. I pay more for garbage through the county than I do for my county taxes. And that includes fire. I'm in a fire district. I'm in a hyacinth control district. I'm in a mosquito control district. Plus I got county tax and school tax and sheriff and everything, a couple $100. If you owned a house, it's worth $1 million after homestead exemption. You know, you would probably pay, I don't know, $1,000 a year, $1,500 a year in taxes. It's really not that much. And with no income tax, people retire down here because they can leave New York where they were paying a 7% income tax, or Baltimore 7% income tax. They can leave there and come down here and take their retirement without losing that 7%. And that's huge for people that are going to go onto a fixed income. Whether you're rich, middle class, or poor, we all have a certain amount of money we need to spend. And you come down here, it just goes a lot further. We run things very differently down here. I don't know if you guys realize it. Our fire departments, our police departments, our counties, our cities, they don't run a deficit. They can borrow some money to build a station or whatever, but we don't run a negative budget. Our state we run in the black every year. At the end of the year, our budget is ahead. We do not borrow money as a state, as a county, as a city. We don't do that. Like I said, the smaller municipalities, the smaller fire departments, they can borrow a little bit of money to buy a fire truck or whatever. But there's no actual debt where you actually run over your budget every year. It's not allowed. You have to have debts approved ahead of time. They have to be paid off within a certain amount of time. It's a very, very different way that we run things here. California is billions with billions of dollars in debt. Florida is in the black. We don't owe anybody. We literally live within our means here, and that's important. We have tax holidays. We're on tax holiday. We're on 2 tax holidays right now. Hurricane tax holiday, back to school tax holiday. You can go right now and buy all your hurricane supplies and all your back to school stuff and not pay any state sales tax or local sales tax on that. And you didn't pay income tax on the money when you got it. So you can see how, they just don't tax you to death here. It's amazing. There is a lot of rural areas here. I recommend to people, they're like, I want to move to Florida, but I don't want to live around a lot of people. There's wonderful places like Sebring and Lake Placid and Avon Park and Haines City. There's some beautiful places, Bowling Green, that are little teeny towns out in the middle of nowhere, and you can go buy 2 acres with a little house or a modular or something sitting on it, and spend the rest of your life there and die there. That's I mean, that's kind of the thing in Florida. You don't have to be along the coast where all the people are. You can still have the wonderful life here in Florida, and you can do it out in the middle of the sticks. Nice. Yeah, I like living out away. I don't live in a rural area, but it's not urban. I live in, it's not really a neighborhood. It's more like just everybody owns property out here. So it's kind of nice. Code enforcement leaves us alone out here. And we like that. I could not live in a city. First of all, if I don't have my car right outside, I get anxiety. You know how some people get weird anxiety about weird things? With me, it's my car. When I have my car parked outside, that's freedom. I can go anywhere. I can go get in my car and drive to my cabin in Georgia. When I'm somewhere and my car's like broke down at the shop or whatever, I literally get anxiety about it. It's like I keep thinking, oh my God, I don't have a car. I can't leave here. I'm stuck here. And that's so weird for city folks to think that way, because many of them don't even own a car, because where they live, they can get to the grocery store and the work where they work and their friend's house and everything, either on a city bus or by walking or whatever, or what do they call those things? E-bikes or whatever. Yeah, code enforcement's terrible. It's basically it's your county Karens and your city Karens. I don't like it. We've got a city here that's really bad called Cape Coral. They actually have sprinkler patrol trucks that go out at night, and all these guys do is drive around and write you up for anything they see at night. If your street is supposed to water on Thursdays, and your sprinklers are watering on a Tuesday, you get a fine. You get a $50 or $100 fine. And if your sprinkler is spraying in the road, you get a fine. It's ridiculous. And they write you up for shit if you're parked, like got somebody parked in front of your house, or they go around, they drive around with their lights out at night, sneaking up on people's houses and stroking them tickets. And you're probably wondering why I know this. Well, I know this because I'm in the media and I've reported on it. But I also know it because I drove a scan car part-time for a repossession company a while back. And I used to run into these guys all night long. And I finally ran into one of them at the Wawa one night. And I said, I got to ask you a question. He said, what's that? I said, you guys just patrol looking for sprinklers. He goes, yep, that's it. He goes, that's it. I drive around for 8 hours a day, and all I do is write sprinkler violations. He goes, there's other stuff I write, blocking cars or things like that, but it's mostly sprinklers. He goes, mostly when they're on, where they're spraying. And I'm like, what a job. What a job. You're saving us. You're saving the world one God blessed sprinkler head at a time. I hate code enforcement. It's disgusting. I think if people want that kind of scrutiny, they should go move into a homeowners association, and that way they can have that kind of scrutiny. That's why I don't live in a city. I don't live in a homeowners association, and I live out in the county so that I don't have to worry about much as far as code enforcement. Lee County's code enforcement, much more fair. The couple interactions I've had with them, they worked with me. We got through it, no problem. I have nothing but good things to say about Lee County because they don't actively patrol. The only way they come to your home about a code enforcement issue is if your neighbor calls you in. And then they have to come out and they talk to you. They don't stroke you a ticket. They talk to you. They'll tell you, hey man, let's write up this paperwork, throw some bags of concrete in there, and I'll write up your $50 permit and you'll be legal. And right there on the side of the road, we write it up, and here, boom, 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 and I send the money in on a PayPal thing, and, it's bullshit. It's bullshit that I have to ask for permission to put something on my property. But I play the game because they make it fairly easy to play the game. Now, I will tell you, Fort Myers is a little worse. Naples is a lot worse. Marco Island, worse. And in Cape Coral, Sanibel, they're bad. I mean, it's just really bad. I wouldn't want to buy property somewhere where I don't want to be told every little thing I can do with my property. I got ham radio towers. I got a 40-foot tower out here. And I don't want to be told when and what I can't put up. And so living out here, they leave us alone, I don't know. I hate code enforcement, and so anytime if there's ever a situation where I can live somewhere away from that, I will. Like up at where my cabin is up there. If you want to build a house up there, you submit a basic drawn floor plan and a $50, and you let them know what you're doing, and then you got to go back and submit some photos when you're done. You can still build your own houses up there. With not being a contractor or nothing, you can still build your own house up there. That's what I like. I like full freedom on my property. And I'll always be that way. I'm a libertarian at heart. The yard cops. Yeah, that's true. The yard cops. Dealing with any of this bullshit, like our garbage here. Garbage has become garbage. I mean, dealing with garbage has just become garbage. We've got a garbage company now, and garbage is done through the county here. Okay? It's not a county service. It's the county collects the money through your property taxes, and then they pay a company to do it. And that company is required to do it. I pay about $350 a year, and I get garbage pickup 52 times a year. And they pick up my horticulture and my recycle and my garbage separately. So 3 different trucks come by on Fridays. My day is Friday. I look out, I separate out, they want only this kind of plastic and only this kind of shit and only this kind of this and only, you got only this kind of glass but not this kind of glass, and all these stupid God blessed rules on what you're supposed to put in there and what you're not and everything. And I was doing it all like you're supposed to do it, right? I was doing it all just like you're supposed to do it. I was putting this in this one and this one and this one and this one in the garbage, and then all of a sudden I look out one day and I'm having problems with my garbage people. They won't pick up my horticulture. They want it wrapped and bound. And I'm like, you're not getting it wrapped and bound. You're not. I put it in nice piles. You can pick it right up. I put it down in cans. You can dump it. But I'm not wrapping it. I'm not putting little bows on it and shit, right? So I'm out there and I watch the guy leave and not take my horticulture again. I'm like, that son of a bitch. Sometimes if I can get out there while they're there, I go out and grab the shit and just throw it in the back of whatever truck's sitting in front of my house. They hate that. But so I see him go by, and then I look out there and I see the garbage truck pull up and dump my garbage. Then I watch him dump my 2 recycle containers into the same truck. He dumped my garbage can and both my recycle bins into the same truck. And I'm like, what's that bullshit? So I talked to Carlotta about it. She goes, yeah, they do that all the time. I'm like, then why are we separating this stupid shit out? I just read an article the other day that they have nobody that wants all this recycled bullshit. They've been recycling and recycling and recycling. And like good, useful idiots, they've been collecting a bunch of shit that nobody wants. Apparently, we've got way too much recycled material now, and it's not even worth putting it in a truck and trucking it anywhere, right? We've done so good collecting it, right? So I asked my neighbors, a couple of my neighbors, I said, what do you do with recycle? Oh, we separate this and stuff. I said, you know what? I'm not doing it no more. I told my neighbors, I said, I'm not doing it no more. I'm going to bring out all my containers and they're all going to be full of garbage. I'm not separating any of it anymore. If they they won't pick up my horticulture and they throw my recycle in the garbage truck, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I'm getting pissed at these people, right? So I decided, okay, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw everything in the recycle container and just bring it out there. And that's what I've been doing. So for like a week or a month and a half now, 6 weeks or so, I throw everything in the recycle containers. The cat litter, I dump the cat boxes in there. I don't give a shit anymore. You're just dumping it in the garbage anyway, right? So the other day, I'm standing out there, and here comes the truck down the road, and sure enough, they dump my recycle shit into the garbage truck again, along with my garbage, and then they didn't dump my garbage. And I asked the guy, I said, why are you not taking the garbage? He goes, because it's got horticulture mixed in. I can only take garbage if it's just garbage. I'm like, you know what? F you people. Seriously. I said, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to start packing shit. I'm going to lay shit out here on the right of way. And I'm going to let it sit out here until nature takes it back. I'm not moving it. And so now I'm piling shit out there. I don't care if they take it or not. I don't give a shit. If it gets too big, I'll light a match to it. I'm sick of this. We used to have the split down the middle ones, and now we don't. It's just one big recycle truck. They took the dividers out of the middle because nobody was doing it. It was stupid the way they were doing it. Number 1 through 7 plastic in the left, and number 8 through 60. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. So they quit that, and now it all goes into one container, and then they want you to feel good like you're recycling, but they just throw your recycle in the garbage. It's dumb. It's a waste. So I just put all my garbage in the recycle now because it's got nice wheels and it rolls out. Whatever. I don't care anymore. Yeah, they got the auto thing that lifts the recycle containers up. The garbage, they've got a thing in the back they can put your can on and it will tip it up for them. Whatever. It just sucks. It just sucks that, they make such a big deal out of that recycling, and then they literally aren't even collecting it. They're just throwing it away. Now I guess maybe they, in the rich neighborhoods, maybe, I don't know, maybe they want their recycle and not ours. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. It's full of cat litter now. And I used to always get along with my garbage men too. That's the thing. I would even go out there and say, hey man, can you guys take this? I know you're not supposed to, but I'll help you lift it in the truck. They were nice guys. There was back in the day, my dad would leave them a 6-pack of beer and they'd take whatever was underneath that beer. Times have changed. It is what it is. Well, yeah, you got to be careful, Coco. I'm that way. I don't know. Anything you throw out could end up anywhere. You just never know. But anyway, yeah, like we got started talking about all this with regulation and code enforcement and all that. A lot of this has gotten out of control, and it's not. I can't totally blame like the government. It's what a lot of people want. There's actually people that want cops to go up on the interstate and spend all day with a radar gun just shooting radar, rather than solving rapes and murders, rather than solving crime, rather than getting your property back. They want these cops sitting up on the highway with a radar gun. We're all doing 95 miles an hour up there. Does it matter? Last time I went up to the cabin, I got in with some traffic, and we were running damn near 100 miles an hour, and we ran 50 miles that way. I couldn't believe it. And it's ridiculous. And what's really cool now, I mean, with Waze and Google Maps and everything else, you get a radar detector, they still work. But Google and Waze, man, I'm telling you what, I put Waze on. If you guys haven't tried it, WAZE, it's amazing. I put that on, I put my route in there, and it starts talking to me, and it tells me, police reported ahead. Police reported ahead. And then it asks me, is he still there? And I say yes or no. That thing is 90% accurate. And even when it tells me there's a cop and I get there and there's no cop, I find him a mile down the road with someone pulled over because he already got somebody. And I just think it's a waste of time, all this traffic enforcement. I just don't, like I said, we tripled or quadrupled the traffic enforcement here and the fatalities went up. It doesn't seem to help. So I question why we waste time putting officers out on the side of the road with radar guns. They need to be solving crimes. And it's the one thing cops don't want to do. They want to respond. They want to chase people. They want to write tickets. They want to ruin days. But they don't ever seem to want to do the old gumshoe police work of actually finding your shit and getting it back to you. I have no problem with slow drivers as long as you're doing it in the right lane. If you're doing the speed limit, you better be changing a tire. I love that. That's funny. That is so funny. I love that. I heard a funny one today. A couple days ago, we had a state politician on, and he says, "Yeah, my dad just moved to Naples." And he said, my dad said, well, he said, I'm old and I'm rich, so I'm going to move to Naples. And he goes, so I moved to Naples and I realized right off the bat, I'm not old and I'm not rich. Because everybody in Naples is 90 and bleedy, just absolutely crazy rich. It was funny. I thought that was a hilarious joke. His dad's like, hey, I'm rich and I'm old. And then when he moves to Naples, he goes, I'm really not rich and old. These people are rich and old. Victimless crimes. Yeah, I actually believe that victimless crimes should pretty much all be misdemeanors. or infractions or nothing at all. And I think victim crimes should be elevated. I do. I believe some victim crimes should be elevated, and victimless crimes should be whatever, deplatformed as far as I'm concerned. The Villages. You guys know who that is, right? Come on. America's friendliest hometown. That was back before he was overly senile. All right, let's see here. Thanks, guys, for being here. This is Starship Adventures. We are live, and I am live tonight in our studios here in Southwest Florida. This is Starship Adventures, and we've got it all going on tonight, which means there's really not a whole lot going on tonight. It's kind of slow right now. I got to tell you, there's not a lot of news on tonight. We've had a few busy news week over the last 7 days. We had the tsunami, we had brush fires, we've had different things. But tonight, not all that busy of a night. There is going to be busy nights ahead coming up, because I'm telling you guys, we're going to be looking we're going to be tracking these hurricanes. Now, when we get into hurricane coverage, it gets pretty serious. I still do these shows. I just do more of them. I'll probably be doing them twice a day instead of once a day. I will begin to take systems here and devote them to the storm. In other words, if the storm's coming in, let's say it's hitting an area, I will take and one computer will do one area of the storm, and I'll put on fire scanners. The other part of the storm down here, fire scanners. I'll probably do a third one that'll be police scanners, and they'll all have radar and flight trackers, and it's information overload the way we do it here. We use Flight Radar 24, Radar Omega. Hold on. Hi, Ed. My co-host was outside. Did you hear him yelling? He literally yells at me when he needs to get in. Isn't that right, Eddie Earl? Isn't that right, boy? Anyway, so there's Ed. There's Ed's ass. I don't know what it is about cats, but it's like, hey, my name's Ed. Smell my ass. That's cats. What you doing, buddy? This is what you call a pet store cat. Beautiful steel gray. This cat would not last one day in a pet store. That's why I call him a pet store cat. Just an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful cat. This is the kind of cat you'd walk in and drop $800 on. He wandered up here as about a 6-month-old kitten. We don't know. They dropped him off out here. They just dropped him off. He doesn't look like any of the other cats in this neighborhood. He's a completely different breed. He's some kind of purebred something or other. I don't know. And just an absolutely beautiful cat. Great disposition, great personality. And he came to us. He just wandered up one day and started eating out of our bowls. And he's turned out to be an amazing cat. Most of my cats are just old alley cats, old tabbies and different things. But he's a special one. We've gotten a few lately that are really just beautiful cats. I don't care what they look like, but it's kind of neat when you get one that's like him. He's just a beautiful cat. Just steel gray. I mean, there's a lot of grays in the neighborhood. The blue grays, there's a lot of blue grays, but he is a steel gray. He's very light colored steel gray. Isn't that right, buddy? That's right. He likes to check everything out in the studio. You don't like cats. That's okay. Nobody's perfect, dude. It's okay. Maybe in the next life it'll get better. But that's okay. As long as you don't hurt cats, we'll get along fine. I'm a big cat guy. I rescue cats. I've got a bunch of cats. I get them fixed. I'm very responsible with them. They love me. I love them. and sometimes they're my only companion for weeks at a time on here. So it's nice that I have them. I love old Eddie Earl here. He's a good cat. Go say hi. Can't you look up at the camera? You can't look up at the camera? No? Gonna have that evil look on your face the whole time? I wish they could understand. Camera, people looking, but no, not so much. Not so much. Anyway, all right, let's see what we got going on here. You work at the shelter. There you go. Yeah, we're having problems with our county shelter here is in a lot of trouble. They've been taking cats in that people have been turning in. You know, here, this is somebody's cat they lost, and just euthanizing them within minutes of them being there. And they've gotten in a lot of trouble for that. They killed some poor cat that belonged to these people, and oh my God, I hope they get sued. Yeah, well, they're cuter when they are mine. I love cats. He's doing biscuits. You know how they knead? We call that doing biscuits. And he will do biscuits for 20 or 30 minutes in the evening. And what he's doing now, he don't want to be in here. He wants me to go in there. It's time for bed. This is bed. This is the bed call right here. Bed check. Let's go. Isn't that right, Eddie? Isn't that right, boy? That's right. He's such a good man. Oh, I don't mind taking care of them. I never, you got to know something about me. I've never had kids, not even illegitimate ones. I've never knocked anybody up. I've never had children. I've got, Carlotta's grandchild I'm very close to, and I help raise him sometimes, and I help him with amateur radio stuff and this and that. But that's the closest thing to a child I've ever had. I don't have a child, and I don't want children. I'm not really a fan of children. They all make particular sounds I don't like, and they all have a particular odor. I'm just really not much on children. I've never wanted children. I used to tell my mom, we still talk about this today. I have an asshole in my face. It's like an ass right in my face. I told my mom today, I was telling her the other day, I said, do you remember when I used to tell you when I was 14, 15 years old that I was never going to have kids? She goes, you told me from as young as I can remember. You always used to tell me that you didn't like kids and you didn't want kids. Even when I was a kid, I didn't hang out with the other kids. I hung out with the adults. I just didn't, I don't know. I'm just not much on kids. And so the cats work out good for me because I get the enjoyment of having a family member that I love that doesn't require that kind of constant maintenance that a child would require, or the cost and expense. Children are expensive. Way too expensive for me. I can't afford that shit. These people are like, oh, I don't have any radios because I got kids. Huh, I got radios. I'd rather have them. Are you kidding me? Dogs are cool. I love dogs. I'm not a dog person. I've never owned a dog. I don't want dogs. I don't like being around them all the time. All the excitement, all the pissing, all the hair and the stink. That oil they get. Some dogs have no smell at all. Other dogs have that musk, and I am very sensitive to that. I hate it. Ugh. I go in somebody's house and I sit there and it's like, oh God, oh. Yet my house probably smells like a cat box and I don't give a shit. Cat children, yeah, kinda. I don't call them fur babies. I hate that term. So I don't use it, but they're my babies. Oh, I'm so tired. I'll get ready to go to bed. I've been on 2 hours now, as of right now. All right, I'm checking the chat room. Anybody know of anything going on that we need to cover, or anything that you would like me to mention or talk about? Let me know. again, they're live with this ICE protest, and there's 3 people out there. 3. I mean, I appreciate the coverage, I guess, but what are you doing, Ed? What are you doing? Do you believe a cat named Ed? Edward? Wildfire update. Yeah, we can do that. I'll do that real quick. Here we go. Let's talk about the Gifford Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gifford Fire. In a world where fire burns every day. Okay, here's the Gifford Fire right there. And there's our evacuation zones. I believe the gray, let me double check something here. Where's the legend? It doesn't show what the gray means. I think when you see them turn gray, I believe that those have been canceled. Okay, because these were red last night and now they're gray. So I think the gray ones are areas where the evacuation orders have been canceled. All right, so this is the Gifford Fire. And just to kind of show you where we're at here, I'm going to zoom out so you can see where look how big this is. This is huge. This fire is taking up a portion of California. I mean, it is huge. All right, so let's get the latest information on this fire. Or is it going to do it tonight? Sometimes this map does it, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, here's the latest status report. Here we go. I know it's not all on the screen. Gifford Fire, Highway 166 northeast of Santa Maria. This is in San Luis Obispo County and also Santa Barbara County. 1,833 structures currently threatened. They've only lost 5 structures. That's amazing in itself, guys. They've done a great job to keep it down to that. That's really good. They've had 9 firefighters injured, 3 civilians injured, no fatalities yet. Containment is at 51%, and the size currently is at 132,000 acres. Currently, the cause is under investigation, and it remains under the unified command of Los Padres National Forest and San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office and CAL FIRE. That's the latest on the fire out in California. Let's take a look at the heat map real quick, and then we'll do the seismic map just for shits. All right, so here's the heat map. What we're looking at with this map, this shows us heat plumes from space. We can actually see where the satellites are seeing heat plumes. Look at this. There it is. The rest of the fire's cold. It's all this one end up here. Look at that. Look at all the heat signatures. And look, they're outside the line. So this is a growing incident even tonight. It's continuing to grow. So, yeah, lots of new heat there and lots going on with that fire there. All right, real quick, let's take a peek over here. This is our seismic cluster that we have over here in, I just update. Oh, and we've just got a new one. It just popped up here. I'm not even going to pronounce where it was. Paproplavlovsky, Kamkachavskaski, whatever. And anyway, it's a magnitude 4.5 on the Richter scale. So we do have a new one here. Look at this cluster that we have had here. Absolutely amazing. Let me back out here and show you where we're at here on the Pacific Rim of Fire. There we go. You can see there's Alaska right in the middle. Hawaii. There's Alaska up here, and then this is that big complex right over here, including the big one there. And I don't see a lot of activity. We did have a 4.3 over here near Guadalupe. And another one of 4.6 over here in Masamba, Indonesia. And then, of course, that one up there that I tried to pronounce and totally butchered the shit out of it. And also a 4.2 in La Serena, Chile. All right, so there we go. That's the seismic monitor, ladies and gentlemen. This is that small thunderstorm that's showing a little potential for strengthening, but it's really not doing that much. And let's do a quick check on space weather. So something they're looking at today, did the geomagnetic storms affect blood pressure? Solar activity might be doing more than just sparking auroras around the globe. A new study in communications medicine suggests it could be nudging your blood pressure as well. Researchers in China analyzed more than 500,000 blood pressure readings taken over 6 years in the mid-latitude cities of Qingdao and Shanghai. They compared those measurements with the AP index, a standard measure of geomagnetic activity. The result: blood pressure rises and falls in rhythm with magnetic unrest. It's a direct scientific correlation. That's amazing to me. I can show you here. Here's the graphs. In the words of H. Ross Perot, I got charts and graphs. And there they are. It does affect health. Yes, Junior, it sure does. There you go right there. You can see where there is a direct correlation between solar events. I mean, that, to me, that's amazing information. It's even more proof that our energy being is directly connected to the planet's energy being, which is directly connected to the solar system's energy being, which is directly connected to the universe. It's just amazing how it all works. We don't understand it. You can call it astronomy, astrology, you can call it energy, you can call it alchemy. I don't care what you call it. But the bottom line is it's all connected in ways that we don't understand quite yet. The systolic and diastolic blood pressure showed a distinctive bimodal pattern, which peaks in spring and autumn, mirroring the seasonal ups and downs of geomagnetic activity. In years when geomagnetic activity was strong, blood pressure peaked about 1 month after the AP index. During quieter years, the lag stretched for 2 months. The data revealed matching cycles at 12, 6, and sometimes 3 months, present at the AP index but absent from other environmental factors. They both share distinct seasonal patterns. That's amazing to me. They stopped short of saying that geomagnetic activity causes high blood pressure or anything like that. These are small changes. I mean, let's face it. But still, it shows a direct connection between the sun and your blood pressure. I mean, that's pretty cool if you think about it. Yes, I do believe solar activity affects terrestrial weather directly. I think that when we have these hurricanes and they go through this unusual rapid intensification cycle, and then you look and the solar activity was high that day, we had energy streams coming in from the sun, and yet the scientists don't ever speak about a direct correlation between the two. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't. I would think that they would see that as a direct correlation. Can I help you with something? Are you okay? Got some toe jam? What's going on? What are you doing? What? Oh, it's like a wall or something. I was like, what the hell? Where do they want? I'm looking at all these little screens and seeing, trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, let's see here. So that's it. There's no real space weather going on right now. The solar disk is very busy, but it's busy with fairly quiet sunspots. Here you go. There's a shot of the sun. Look at all the sunspots on the disk. Are you going to lay right there on top of all my shit? Is that really what you want to do? You're just going to you're going to plop your ass on top of my glasses and everything, right? And then lick your ass on top of it. Yeah. I used to always tell people when cats are licking their ass and their paws straight up in the air, I used to tell people, oh, they're talking on the radio. That's the antenna and the mic's in their asshole. Yeah, the Coco, we were covering that live here on the channel. We were covering that tsunami live. I stayed on till 4 something in the morning. If you go back and look, and you will see that day, you will see an extended version of this show that went on for about 9 hours. And we stayed live covering that tsunami. With views and data and all kinds of stuff. It was a great show. Lots of numbers, lots of folks. It was great. Yeah, that was something else. That was that. I showed that a few minutes ago, where that cluster of earthquakes that's going on in that peninsula there in Russia. Those earthquakes that are going on there are what caused. That's where it came from, and luckily it wasn't that bad. Believe it or not, in a big ship out away from the shore is a good place to be in a tsunami. I know it sounds a little weird, but it is. Tsunamis is a pressure wave more than it is a surfing type wave. It's a pressure wave that pushes through the solid matter of the water. Okay, and as that pressure wave gets close to the beach, it begins to rise because it can't go straight anymore. It has to rise. And so as it rises, it comes up out of the ocean and creates this deadly wave that we see on all those videos of those big deadly tsunamis everywhere, okay? But ships that were a quarter mile off the coast didn't even know what was going on. They didn't even realize it went right under their boat. Because when you've got depth underneath you, the tsunami pressure goes right underneath your ship, and you don't even notice it. You might notice a little bit of movement or maybe a slight amount of rise, but you're really not going to notice much at all. If you're right near the coast, it can be dangerous for a boat because the water will come up at the coast and bring your boat up onto land, and it can be very dangerous. But if you're out in the water, that's why I always say, if I was in a boat and there was a tsunami warning, I would set sail immediately. I would immediately set sail. I would head towards open ocean. You want to head into the wave. And once you're a half mile offshore or a mile offshore, you won't even know when it goes by. You'll be safe. Just hang out. Don't anchor. Just stand by. Just stay out there idle and hold your distance until the warning is over. That's the best way to get through a tsunami. So that's the good thing there. Yes, Cat 4 by the weekend. It's going to be a hurricane by morning. I did show one view already on the intense vapor imagery. Let me pull up that water vapor shot again. Ed, I'm coming to bed, dude. Seriously, I swear to God. He literally is upset that I'm not going to bed. He's ready for bed, and he's like rambunctious that I'm not in bed yet. All right, so let me turn this back on. Look at this. This is a... Thank you, Ed. You're adjusting the screens for everybody. Can you stop? What's the deal? Seriously. I'm gonna go to bed in just a minute. See the eye in the middle? It's already starting to show signs that we've got a deepening eye in the middle. Look at that, and look at the outflow. I mean, this shows you what happens. It comes in, it goes out. This is all outflow. See all those little hairs that come out all the way around? That is outflow all the way around this storm. You can see that's all exhaust coming off the top of the storm. And it's sucking it in and it's blowing it out. That is a machine. This thing is progressing as well or better than I expected it to at this point. And we're already starting on at least on the infrared. This is the water vapor imagery loop here. At least on this one, we're already starting to see that weakening in the middle there where the eye will form. And we will see an open eye by the end of the day tomorrow, I think. We'll probably see an open eye. This is going to be an impressive storm. It's going to be a beautiful storm. And the best thing about this storm is it may not kill a single person. That would be awesome if we could get through this one. I think it's going to go left of Bermuda and right of the United States. I don't think anybody's going to take a direct hit on this one. But yeah, it's an impressive, just absolutely the outflow, it's symmetrical, meaning that it's round. Remember, I always talk about things in nature, always try to achieve a symmetrical round shape. And storms are just like everything else. Isn't that right, Ed? That's what I thought. All right, so there you go. I guess that's about it for that. I do have this shot here. This is why it brings me to this one. Jesus. It's weird because sometimes that brings me to the right one and sometimes it doesn't. And it doesn't now. Here's the regular one. You can see in the center there again. It's I believe the white dots you see in the middle is lightning. And again, that's indicative of a strengthening storm as well. That could just be a higher intensity color. I'm not sure. I don't think this one has lightning. And if you look over to the left, you can already see the Windward Islands and the island chain there. I know you want to go to bed. He wants to go to bed so bad. You have no idea. He's tired. He's literally had a busy day and he wants to go to bed. They're just like we are. I have found cats, they are a lot like we are in so many ways. They're habitual, they've got bad habits, they do stupid things, they're clumsy. They're all the same bullshit that we have wrong with us. Isn't that right, Eddie? All right, guys, last call for the chat room. I'm getting ready to call it. I'm coming up on 2.5 hours. Last call for the chat room. Anything else you want me to cover real quick or talk about or any of that kind of stuff before I go here? I really wish that I wish I could show like TV shows and like we could watch them together on here, but they won't let you do that. All right, well, Coco, thank you very much. I'm splitting as well because Ed needs to go to bed, and so do I. So yeah, I'm going to be splitting as well. So good night, Red. Good night, Coco. Yeah, hurricanes do strange things, but they generally do follow within the cone. Even Ian and Charlie both hit here when they were supposed to hit Tampa, but the truth is we were always in the cone. We were on the edge of the cone, right on the edge, but we were in the cone. So I have to give the National Hurricane Center credit because, yes, they called it. We were in the cone. It's just we weren't in the center line. That's why they've taken that center line out. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. In some of the forecast stuff they put out, they no longer draw the center line in there anymore. So there you go. All right, yep, Ding and Junior, thank you guys for all coming in tonight and moderating and all that. And thank everybody for coming in. I'll be promoting some more moderators soon. I do it about once a week. I see who I've had, how long you've been on with me, and we go from there. All right, I guess that's about it. I don't see anything else coming up in the chat room that I need to address. And so I guess we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and call it for the night. This is Starship Adventures, guys, and this is what we do here. We do live coverage. We also do science, weather, space weather, amateur radio, radio propagation, science fiction. We do a lot of really cool stuff, even paranormal ghosts and UFOs. So join us. We are here every night, 6 nights a week, and sometimes even on Saturday. And I love this. I love to come in and have a general conversation. Sometimes we bounce around. Sometimes we intently cover things with scanner. We have scanner feeds and aircraft trackers and radar and storm chasers. And we cover things with the widest amount of different views and shots and things like as we can. And I'm glad that you guys like it and are coming back. So anyway, this is Starship Adventures live from Southwest Florida, and we are going to be bidding everybody a good night. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures worldwide on YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world. We'll see you guys next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good night, everybody. 7 3s. We'll see you down the log.